Right. What shall I do? I should get the chat up first. That might be a good thing for me to do. Let's go on to YouTube and find it there. There we are. That is live chat up and running. High quality. No, don't want that. I do want no. That one, no. Yes, please. Thank you, game. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So, hello everyone. It's me, SpursRail96 here, and welcome to another Train Sim World 2 live stream. Probably one of the most eagerly anticipated live streams, certainly for me, but I've always wanted to do, and that is a stream on this game that concerns the good old days of Steam and a new route set back in time. It's always my cup of tea, and to make it just as good, it's set during the Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So yeah, can't get better, can it? So yeah, we're going to be doing just one service for today, and it's literally throwing me right into the deep end, that's for sure. We're going to be taking the LMS Jubilee. We'll put it back a month, and we'll add a little bit of cloud. That'll do. Perfect. And we're going to be doing a full-length run of the route from Liverpool to Crewe. This is a semi-fast service. Out now. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. Should be good fun. Okay, so drive this semi-fast service bound for London Euston, aka Crewe, from Liverpool Lime Street. Alright, let's get in the cab. Oh, no, first you have to get out of the cab. Actually, no, I'll go into the rear camera, because what I have to do is uncouple this locomotive. Don't want to drag it away with me, do I? There we are. Alright, let's unlock the doors and allow the passenger boarding procedures to commence. Now while we're doing that, I'd best do the startup procedure, the setup procedure. First turn the lamp on, get a bit of light in. Turn the reverser, put the reverser into the fully forward position. All that's tickety-boo, yes. We'll just wait till the boarding procedures are complete. Is the cylinder thingamabob open? No, it's not. It is now though. Good. I had to choose the most difficult one, didn't I? The first service, the first stream I choose. Why am I glitching in that bridge? What's going on with this stupid camera? The first service I had to choose is a Mega 10 coach semi-fast express. Going from Liverpool to Crewe, but oh well, never mind. I'm always up for a challenge. Since this is a special train, well, kind of special, if I can find the lamp, we'll have the Royal Train. So Queen Elizabeth can be proud of me. Very proud, dear. Alright, it's time to get going, so let's lock the doors. Now, this is the most worrying bit. Steep gradient out of Liverpool to Edge Hill, which is just over a mile away. We're nowhere near going to be on time. That's a fact. Okay, we've released the brakes. I'm going to put some sand on. I'm going to, what's the big ejector? I'm going to open the large ejector to release the vacuum brakes. As long as you make it up the steep gradient, couldn't care if we're late or on time. Most likely we're going to be late, but you never know. You might, yeah, might be okay. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Gotta wait until the brakes are fully released, and then we can depart. It can take as long as it wants. I want to make sure I get this train at least moving in the right direction. That might be a good thing. Okay, brakes seem to be fully released, so let's get going. Right, brakes are released. Let's apply some throttle, not too much. I think 20% will do. 21%. Let's go 21%. That will do. Close the cylinder cocks. I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube, I don't know, but we'll close the cylinders, let's just say that. Increasing the power. Let's keep going. Slowly, it's important to slowly increase the power. I mean, I have got the sander on for extra grip and traction, but you don't want to just floor the throttle, otherwise you'll just get wheel spin on a gradient as steep as this. Yeah, it could mean doom or success as far as keeping close-ish to the indicated time, which I'm nowhere near going to. That's just not going to happen. Golly Glover 5000 the first. Hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Right, let's open the brakes. Open the ejector, the large one. I can really start to increase the power. Slowly gaining speed, but as long as it's gaining speed, that's all that matters to me. Right, let's go absolutely to the max. Now, one trick I have found is when it comes to losing speed, I bring my cursor to very close to Fireman Sam here, and open the dampers. I don't know why, but every time I do it, it keeps me moving, so that's all that matters to me. Foxy, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Hope everyone is yeah, having a good start to the weekend. Of course, in the UK it's a bank holiday, special bank holiday, of course, due to the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. I'm going to take a little sip of tea while I'm at it. Of course, I've had to have a typical British cup of tea, so I had a cup of tea this morning in a Union Jack mug, so I'm very, very pleased. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, perfect. Right. What's the Jubilee doing? Chugging along close to 10 miles an hour. Excellent, that's fine by me. As long as it makes it, that's all that matters. I must say I practiced a ton just to get for train around some steep gradients. Oh, I will be honest, I am kind of going in a bit blind. The only bit of practice I have done really is mainly around the Edge Hill / Liverpool area, because yeah, just to I think for me, just to get to grips with the steep gradient coming out of Liverpool Lime Street, I think is an achievement in itself. Let alone to do one complete run of the route with all four wheels still moving in between the station stops. Did I say all four wheels? If I said that, I apologise, I meant all of the wheels. Yeah, as long as we make it to the finish line, which is a Crewe, that's all that matters. The reason why I chose a semi-fast service is mainly because in the station stops I could talk to you, you know, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, or so on and so forth. Because I was thinking, if I did a full-star, you know, express non-stop from Liverpool to Crewe, the streaming wise it wouldn't be that fun, because it would be great for you, you know, watching it, but for those of you who want to ask questions and engage with me on the live chat, it's not that fun, because I'm going to be so busy concentrating, looking at the dials and making switches and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty challenging to juggle and talk, you know, do all those things and play the game, etc, etc. We are nearing Edge Hill, just over 600 yards away. That's the first big tick of the service. And plus the weather conditions I chose were not too bad. Foxy, you need high boiler pressure. I will quote a tip I found that helps you. Boiler pressure. How high is the boiler pressure? Well, it's kind of in the middle, isn't it? It's not too low, but again not too high. It's kind of going up and down. I think that little V indicator on the gauge indicates whether you're losing boiler pressure or gaining it. It's kind of in the middle, so I'm happy with where we are. As the old saying goes, it's not this route is, these type of services, particularly the passenger ones, is literally a marathon, not a sprint. So right, we're nearing the first stop, so let's close those dampers. I think I'll open the cylinders, give it some breathing space. I mean, this is the challenge and the beauty of steam locomotives, is that you are so much more engaged with the driving. You know, you are literally determining the driving characteristics, and I think that is very, very engaging to the player, if not people who are fans of steam itself. Oh, need to brake a bit harder. Never mind. Whoopsie. Right, let's unlock the doors. That's the first the first big test completed. Would you believe it? This locomotive is as quiet as a mouse. About to say mice, but that doesn't rhyme. Beautiful, isn't she? The Jubilee class LMS locomotive, produced between, I think, 1934 or 5 and to either 44 or 46. It's one of the two. You get these nice little nameplates here. Ours is Hardy. So yeah, if the actor Tom Hardy is watching, or if he ever even sees Spirit of Steam, then yeah, your surname's on there, sir. So yeah, we could pretend that Tom Hardy, maybe in the first class compartment, is cheering me on, I'm sure. Now you probably want to know what is my first impressions of the route and the pack itself. Pack is very good as far as the driving is concerned. It delivers across the board, apart from the manual firing, but I'm not particularly bothered about that, to be honest with you. What is nice is, like I said earlier, the involvement of the driving, the challenging of the driving, and you know, these. I'm just taking charge of a semi-fast express in pristine conditions. You throw in some weather in there, or even do it at night time. That is very, very challenging. Found at night time. Yeah, the challenges you will face, it will be unlike anything you have experienced before. I think the driving characteristics of both locomotives they feel well represented. The sounds, I think, are very, very good. Probably the best we may have had in Train Sim World, period. As far as the rolling stock is concerned, not the locomotives, but you know, the freight wagons, the brake van, and the coaches, absolutely excellent, first class, really good detail. Particularly the coaches, I really, really like the coaches. Such a nice place to be if you want to pretend to be a passenger. I highly recommend it. And also take a ride on the brake van if you, regardless if that's with, I think the brake van, special brake van service, or you know, just a freight service in general. As far as the timetable is concerned, it's pretty decent at 135 services. The only quarrel I have with it is, or grobble I have with it, I should say, is the lack of shunting. Because I can understand where Dovetail was going with this route. You know, the fact it is an absolute mammoth route. You know, these industries here, you know, they're probably, in real life, probably the sizes of, what, I don't know, probably 2 housing estates, each one. So, it's cool, and there's a lot of track, and, you know, you can explore on foot and see the various tracks and what type of industry they are home to. But nothing much really happens there. There's not much shunting, you know, and there's not much, you know, trains being put together, or freight services, like, for example, you take some empty or some loaded trucks that are full of wood, and you maybe have to drop off those wagons to the tiny little industries that are at some stations. Or, you know, pick up some empty wagons that are already at that said industry and bring it down to Crewe or up to Liverpool, whatever. That's something that is a bit irritating, but hopefully if a Steam add-on, locomotive add-on, comes to the game, I'm sure that issue will be rectified. Yeah, the route, I personally, I'm pleasantly surprised, but at the same time kind of a bit feeling a little bit like, why didn't they choose another route? Because one route I really, really wanted to see, and I thought was the number one contender to be the first Steam route, was the Riviera line in the 50s in the southwest of England. To me, that is much better from a scenic point of view. There are some good bits to this route, you know, the Liverpool area, Edge Hill, the Runcorn Bridge, I think that's what it's called. Is it called Runcorn, I think, here? No, it's not. It's over there. That one. Yeah, Runcorn. That area looks quite spectacular, you know, with all the factories in operation in the distance. There's a little bridge that transports cars over the Merseyside River. You know, it feels like there's a lot of activity going on. Whereas the rest of the scenery, yes, it's part of the West Coast Main Line, but yeah, it's just what, fields and trees, and that's it. But I think also another good thing about it is that they've really replicated the time period very, very well. You know, the passengers being dressed in the appropriate clothes, the cool little signs you have on each of the platforms. I think that's really, really cool. And I hope they continue that level of these almost like scenery features. And just add a little bit more character to each of the stations and to the route. And the cars as well. The cars are very appropriately stylized for the era, the time period. You know, vintage buses, old Rolls Royces, and little Citroen vans, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really, really pleased with that kind of scenery is concerned. But the West Coast mainline scenery itself, aside from the stations, it's a little bit in the middle. Crew is actually very good as well, albeit not much activity happens down at Crew when it comes to shunting, because the yard there is massive, but I think you can take about, what, 1 or 2 services where you have to take the train out of the depot, which is, yeah, a bit concerning, a bit annoying, but yeah, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Now, are we losing speed? No, I'm so busy babbling along, I'm surprised this train is still moving in the direction of travel. Well, we are 9 miles to a run, Corn. I'm not even bothered about the time because I know we're not going to make it. What I will do is let's open the dampers. Whether this is a good or bad thing, I should be opening the dampers, I've absolutely no idea. But to me, every time I do the dampers, turn the sander off, it might be wise, it always goes well for me. So whether I'm doing it wrong or right, I have no idea. I've had practice, but not enough practice. Let's turn the throttle down a bit, say 25, and let's put the reverser back to roughly 50%. Conserve a bit of the power as we're going downhill-ish. We can cruise along. I'm not bothered about reaching the speed, to be honest. Oh my, the chat has certainly made leaps and bounds, hasn't it? Let's see if I can catch up. Bobby, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Alfie, hey, how are you as well? Yep, it's a steam train, and you can hear the whistle. Let's increase the power, shall we? Just get a bit more speed out of the old girl. Garlic Glover 5000, the first, I want the 3F Ginty, but otherwise I think it's perfect. Yeah, the 3F Ginty would be a good one. I mean, you could pick any steam locomotive for this route. That's still in existence in the 1950s, preferably, of course, from the London Midland and Scottish Railway, but yeah, you can have lots of candidates. You can have tank engines, you could have multi-purpose locomotives like the Black 5, as these two are based on the Black 5, I think. So that'd be kind of cool having the Black 5, you know. Imagine that. You know, that workhorse can do all of these type of all of the services, really. Freight, shunting, passenger, you name it. Foxy said a lot of advice for me here. What has he said? Boiler pressure has to stay high. You do that putting the reverser to the low percent, like 20 or 30, and the left needle over the first. Thought that was the station we're stopping at then. I'll look back at the chat. You only use then the left needle over the first circle of the left side will go up for higher the pressure, for higher the speeds you can achieve. So the reverser back to 30%. Alright, let's go 25%. See if that works. I'll reduce the power as well to, I'd say roughly that as well, 25. You use 75% when starting, after wait, go to 50% or lower. I presume you mean, when you say the percent, do you mean the percentage of the throttle or the percentage of the reverser? I presume he means the reverser. And on gradients, you always should put the reverser to 25 to 32. Okay, must mean the reverser. Because then it can crawl the higher gradients way better, and you can also select auto firing. The needle of the boiler pressure for left high circle has to always be near the red strip, which is 275. The more closer it is, but the more velocity you can achieve due to the high pressure. And your gas button should be on 100% when driving gradients upwards, and otherwise you should apply gas a bit gently, especially with 0% gradients. Okay, fair enough. That's me putting on the gas at full even. Your acceleration might not be well with such a loco, but these tips help you going to achieve higher speeds. And when going downhill, you should put the forward to 11% to save steam. Oh, it's certainly working, your tip, because as you can see, the vacuum or the boiler pressure needle has risen a bit, so that's good. Whether it's the dampers being open or not, I have no idea. No, you don't need to be sorry, Foxy. It's useful advice. It literally is for future streams, future content, and make on Spirit of Steam. You know, these tips are very, very helpful. I mean, yes, I think that Dovetail made themselves like a very in-depth guide to it, which I actually have watched a little bit of it, not all of it. I mainly focused on just getting out of, you know, Liverpool, Lime Street, that kind of section, you know, steep gradients and all that stuff. But yeah, it's certainly good advice, and I welcome it. Percentage owner reverser. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Oh, we're absolutely flying. This is the fastest I've been on this route, so thank you, Foxy. Look at her go. Well, it's weird because, you know, the Jubilee I thought would be like a girly kind of name steam locomotive, but it's called Hardy, so no, look at him go. Another weird thing about this route is the performance of the route. Sometimes in the built-up areas of Crewe or Runcorn or Liverpool or Edge Hill, the frame rate can be very inconsistent. One minute it's close to breaking point, almost like Brighton mainline London Victoria kind of levels, and then at some points it's really, really good. But the confusing thing is the route is massive, but in those industries, like I said earlier, there's not a lot going on. You know, if there were, you know, trains shunting wagons together, or bringing coaches in and out of the station, and putting them into sidings, and making the train up, or, you know, doing coal loading and, you know, attending to water in the tender, lowering, you know, all that kind of stuff, with like 2 or 3 locomotives, plus, you know, passenger and freight trains scuttling by, I could understand that. But they're not. that's the weird thing. None of those things happen. I think you can do one service in the morning where you have to do some shunting with the coaches at Edge Hill. That's the only time you can do that kind of shunting. Everything else, you can't. So that's a little bit on the frustrating side. Ironically, we're starting to get a bit of wheel spin, which is a bit of a surprise. I think it's best that I close. Should I close the throttle now? Don't close. Yeah, close the throttle. Have it cruise for a minute. I don't know if the rear dampers should be open or closed, but every time I open them, as I've said a few times, it works for me, so I'm going to close them since we're going downhill. I haven't even tested the brakes out at this kind of speed, so I've no idea what to expect. Mr. Quicko Gaming, hey, how are you? You can call me whatever, Spurs, my proper name, or I'm not bothered. Ash, I don't mind. Yeah, hope you're well. So yeah, an overall score of Spirit of Steam, mostly good. Certainly a bit of room for improvement in terms of making the yards, the massive yards, feel more busy, and plus fixing and patching up the performance on this route. I would give it a, I think a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair score. You know, it hasn't had an update yet, this route, since it's been released, so I think once that comes out, I'm pretty sure that it will be, yeah, pretty much in good health. Oh, I really should be sticking my head out like that. Look at that, there's the cows. Or horses, whatever they are. Now I think with this route, if you pick up Spirit of Steam and then go into the Creators Club, you can download the official Platinum Jubilee livery, which is purple with the official Platinum Jubilee emblem. So I recommend that you pick that up almost straight away. The reason why I haven't got it is because it broke. It just decided to break on me. Close the injectors. We'll get down the speed very shortly, and now we can release the brakes. It's time to go forward. Come along, Fireman Sam. You needed to start doing some coal shoveling, my friend. I have not seen this AI person pick up that shovel, get a piece of coal, or pretend to, and put it in the firebox. I have not seen him once. Not once has he done that. The only time I've seen him animate is sticking his head out the window. Well, you don't need to do that, because that's my job. I'm the driver. He needs to start shoveling the coal. And he's not shoveling the coal. And I don't know why he's shoveling the coal. Not too far from Runcorn now, just under 1.5 miles to go, and you can already see that the landscape has changed dramatically from the lovely countryside to the heavy industrial area near the Merseyside River. One quite cool little thing that I found really interesting, as I'm a big football fan, of course, mainly a Spurs supporter, of course, is that one of the posters in Liverpool, or near the Liverpool area, I can't remember which station it was, but it was a cool little poster of like a 1950s style Merseyside derby poster of between Liverpool and Everton. Even though it doesn't officially say Liverpool FC versus Everton due to licensing issues and, you know, pictures of the actual architecture of Anfield or Goodison Park, as it was in the 1950s, it's still pretty cool that, you know, there's that football element to it of the Merseyside derby. Just a fun little fact. I mean, you can't see the stadiums, obviously, but that's quite a cool little trick there. Right, we're passing over for Liverpool, the Merseyside Canal, I should say, or Liverpool Canal, whatever. What am I doing? Head out left. What a lovely day in the northwest of England. It's nice to explore a different part of England for a change, be that back in time or modern. You know, mainly we've had north of England, north, east, southeast, southwest, and just the south. So yeah, northwest. That's another part of the country ticked off as far as the UK is concerned, and of course we've had Scotland too. So yeah, why not have the Midlands next? Let's have a Midland main line, be it modern or old school, guys. I don't mind. We're approaching Runcorn. Almost empty on boiler pressure, but as long as we make it to the station, that's all that matters to me. We're going to be late anyway, so it doesn't matter to me time-wise. I think if you can complete a service where you stop, I'd say within 2 minutes of the indicated time at the various stations, I think that's a pretty darn good job. Because I'm certainly not going to achieve that. That is for sure. Right. There's the ejectors. We can close the dampers, if I can find the flipping switch. There's one. There's another one somewhere. Whoop, whoop, wait, there we go. Let's see if I can catch it coming to a standstill. Most likely not. I'll probably fail, as I always do with these kind of things. That's it. Keep coming, train. Keep moving. Keep moving. There we go. Now we can bring you to a nice, gentle stop. Stop, stop, stop. Thank you. Hey, perfect. That was a cracker. Unlock the doors. Allow the passenger boarding procedures to commence. Open those cylinders. They must be very thirsty. Let's open the ejectors. Oh no, we don't, do we? Do we? I don't know, I keep forgetting. No, we're at a bit of a steep gradient when we depart, so I think I'll use the sander. You see, well, this is what I mean. Like, you know, we're stopping at Runcorn and some industry here, you know, with some wagons, and, you know, why not have some services where you could put some in and take some out? You know, it'd be so cool. I'm sure we will in the future. Look at that. An absolute work of art, if I say so myself. Transport Net YT, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Polish kid, nice to see you. What steam train is that? This is the London, Midland and Scottish Railways Jubilee class steam locomotive. The main workhorse as far as passenger duties are concerned. And, yeah, looks very nice too. I'll give it a little bit of a rest and give myself a little rest for a minute. Have a drink of the British tea during the Jubilee weekend. Lee Wood, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Same goes for Galactic Wolf. Hey Spurs, hey Galactic Wolf, hope you're well, my friend. Garlic Lover 5000 the first. This is very off topic, but a week ago I got some model train stuff, and the number one problem I've had is the knuckle couplers breaking. Oh, I hate it when the couplers on model trains just break. It infuriates me. It really does, because they're probably one of the weakest components of a model train consist, really, unless you go for a super duper expensive trains. So maybe, then maybe that problem might be, well, non-existent. Maybe. Trainmaster, hey, how are you? Hope you're well. How do you like Spirit Steam? Pretty good, as I expected. I mean, I'm an old I'm a big fan of the old routes in Train Sim World, and this is certainly right up there at the very top. I think once I learned to master the steam locomotives and the different, types of operations and in different weather conditions, plus with a few tweaks under the hood, like maybe adding a loco add-on or some additional services to the freight aspect or shunting, and plus patching up the performance of the route, I think this could be up there at least, I think, with one of the best routes Dovetail Games has made for Train Sim World. That's for sure. But it's definitely the most challenging route I've ever driven in this game. That's for sure. Anyway, it's time to depart. We haven't had the safety valve go off once. Every time I've stopped at Edge Hill and Runcorn. Maybe that's a good thing. Saves your ears bleeding in pain. And my ears too, if you're wearing headphones or AirPods or headphones, whatever. Speakers, you name it. Right. Let's release the brakes. You need to start shoveling, boy. I'll do it for you. Yeah. I've opened the firebox for you. Get shoveling. Oh, he's actually doing it. I'll open the door for you. There you are. Shovel. We need millions of them. I love that. It's like being the boss, literally. Come on now, up to it. Come on, chap. Get moving fast as we can. Now is the time. Oh, you don't want to shovel anymore. Alright, I'll let you off. Oh no, you want to shovel some more? Well, you go ahead, you do what you want. You want to shovel. You shovel. Right, no more shoveling. I've got some driving to do, I'm afraid. Oh, crikey, no, don't go yet. I haven't locked the doors yet. Whoopsie. Yeah, hear the power. Yeah, you can shovel as much coal as you want now. That's the first time I've seen you actually doing something. It's weird because previously I opened and closing the firebox and he was just standing there. Now he's actually doing something for a change. Oh, don't close them yet. I'm gonna wait until we get up to, I'd say, 5 miles an hour roughly, and I'll put the hammer down. I think that will do there. Alright, how many times are you going to keep shoveling? You're going to have to close it at some point. Oh, you want to keep shoveling? Alright. No, you don't want to shovel. I'm having a fight with this fireman. I'm going to open the dampers. See if that does anything. Most likely it does for me. So I'll take it. So increase the power to 50%. Which tea brand do I use? Says Foxy. What's it called? PG Tips with the Yorkshire Monkey. I remember those adverts used to do with the monkey with PG Tips. So well crafted. Foxy, those services are things I miss too. I mean, why not using this spot to drive a freight train? Why only use them to do the big freight? Exactly. I think just having, I think if we have like a little tank engine, that kind of Hunslet engine or LMS tank engine, in the game, mainly to do freight operate, mainly to do the shunting aspect, and maybe some even light passenger services as well, like the 4-coach trains from, I think it's Liverpool to, I think it's to, where is it to? I think it's to Runcorn, if I'm not mistaken. Let's apply the power, maximum power. Open the ejectors. Actually, no, don't need to, do I? I forgot to apply the sander. That might help me. Now open the small ejector. Yeah, that will help. Yeah, rock and roll. We're moving. Look at the speedometer slowly going up. How's Fireman Sam doing? Still shoveling, my friend. Well, you could take a break, He's shoveling furiously. Look at him go. You finished now? Well, no point putting that there, my friend. You're just going to pick it up again, aren't you? Well, you might as well just... Oh, I'm fine. Leave Fireman Sam to it. Right, the next stop is Hartford. Which is just over 9 miles away. That'll be the first time I've ever gone to Hartford on this route. It's the furthest I've been on the service, so I take it I'm doing okay, excluding the time, which we're hideously late. But yeah, I never expected myself to be anywhere near close to being on time. Yeah, it's mainly just having a cruise. Well, not really a cruise, but just to chug along the line, seeing the sights. Seeing if I can at least complete one big long journey on this route, and if I can, that'll be tremendous. Yeah, but who's got a Spirit of Steam? Has anyone picked it up? Are they enjoying it? If so, what do they enjoy most about it? What don't they enjoy of the route? And what improvements do you think what improvements do you think are required or needed for Spirit of Steam, or for future Steam train releases? I must say the Steam graphics, very, very good. They're a little bit glitchy in some areas, but particularly in the tunnels of Liverpool Lime Street, I think they're cracking. Done a good job with it. I thought it was always going to be a bit of a 50-50, like they're going to look nice, but they're going to glitch through like some bits of the landscape, like bridges or the roof of tunnels and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's actually been really well replicated. I can imagine fans of Harry Potter will take the steam locomotive and just completely transform it into the very iconic livery that was featured in the first Harry Potter film of the... I can't remember what the steam locomotive actually was used in the first Harry Potter film, but yeah. Well, I remember when I watched Harry Potter for the first time and I saw that train, I thought, wow, this looks good, doesn't it? How's the fireman doing? Still shoveling. Wow. we go. He's finished with his firing, so I'm going to close the door for him. He can have a much needed break. Fine, aren't we? Because there's one confusing thing was with the Jubilee in the tutorial, they didn't use a small ejector, they mainly just focused on the large one. Whereas with the 8F, it was recommended that you should use a small, you should make sure that the small ejector is fully open. And I'm like, well, does that also apply to the Jubilee? I'm not sure, but yeah, I thought I'd try both ways, like mainly using the large one, and then when I'm moving, I'll use the small one and see which one delivers the better results. I suppose in reality you should use, make sure that the small ejector is fully open when you are moving at all times. Let's close the dampers. Just put the reverser down a little bit. We'll stay fully on the power. I think before I start making videos of these, of Spirit of Steam, like properly making videos of it rather than just streaming and doing the tutorial, yeah, I'm gonna need a hell of a lot of practice, an awful lot of practice. I'm gonna need so many hours dedicated to this. It's gonna be ridiculous. Ay, ay, ay. Lord help me. Right, now we're climbing again. Time to open those dampers again, I think. No, actually no. Leave the dampers closed. That might do it. Right, now we're going downhill. Let's take my foot off the gas and put the reverser down some more. Roughly there, that will do. Right, shall I open the dampers? Maybe that's it. No, actually no, close the dampers. I'm gonna have to look up do some research into understanding the dampers, seeing when they should be open, whether both should be open fully, and when is the best time to use them. Let's try large ejector. No. Yes, put it like that. Gaining speed. The boiler pressure is slowly coming up, not as quick as I want for sure. So now is the best time for it to take a breather and get some energy back into the boiler, or steam back in the boiler. It's not an electric locomotive, is it? I keep forgetting that. Mr. Quicker Game put the reverse on 25%. It's roughly on near 25%, so... I think I need to also watch the streams that they'll do with the pre-release of Spirit of Steam. I'm sure they've got some good tips and stuff like that. There's a signal box, one of many. Haven't seen or heard any other services chugging by. Try and use the large ejector, that might do something. No, I'm going to leave the dampers closed. I just keep debating in my head, should I fully open the dampers? Whether that might do something, I have no idea. If anyone does know, then yeah, I would greatly welcome it. Right, under 5 miles to go until Hartford. Right, speed limit is going down to 55 miles per hour. It's not going to affect me, we're 10 miles under it. Make that 11. Of course, the signals are quite challenging. You've got the mixture of mainly semaphore signalling, but also the newer-ish, I think, colour light signals, I think they're called. Ah, here's this lovely bit of the viaduct. This is the viaduct I want to see. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Right, let's put the reverser into 50%. Got a bit of a gradient coming up. Actually, no, let's keep it at 25. See what happens. Let's try 50%, see what happens there. Sticking at roughly 35. I mean, the gradient's not that steep, but I just want to keep the speed up a little bit more, so I feel a bit more comfortable of cruising at, you know, a gradient that's nowhere near as steep as 1%. The whistle is very, very good. It's a bit annoying they haven't got a two-tone whistle, but it works very well with responding to, you know, the amount of times you click the whistle or press the whistle. And the recordings are very well, you know, captured and edited together, so there's no awful loop issues. So that's nice. Well, we are losing a bit of steam, aren't we? Not steam, speed. Getting the two mixed up. Supply to power. Maximum power. See what happens. Right, let's open the dampers again. Hopefully they will help me. Water pressure is starting to go up. That's good. Clearly I'm doing something right. Then again, we are on a completely flat gradient, so that may be why as well. That's where we are. When we arrive at Runcorn, we're, I would say, roughly halfway, which will be a huge relief for me. Excuse me. Yeah, I hope everyone in the UK or yeah, is enjoying the Jubilee celebrations of 70 years of a monarch being in charge, so to speak, or keeping the throne to herself. Right, let's close the injectors. Regret it and I'll have to open them again. Because what concerns me is every time I close the vacuums, the ejectors, sorry, is that the vacuum in the brakes starts decreasing, and I don't like that. I want it to be fully released, the vacuum brakes. I mean, vacuum brakes are the worst brakes in the world. That's why trains today no longer use them. We're just over a mile away from Hertford, and then we've practically conquered half of the route, which I will be delighted. That's for sure. Let's have a look at the head out left, shall we? Again, look, there's some track here. Look, there must be some sort of industry there. Now that area we passed quite a while back. Actually, I didn't even notice it. Was the world's, what was it, world's first overhead, was it changeover or something? I'm not too sure. Forget what Mr. Mappelston claimed it to be as. I know it's a world first at something. So. Alright, we're not too far from Hertford now. I think it's time to close the dampers. Close the regulator, and we'll just cruise to our stop, pretty much. Not many tunnels on this route, which I was a bit surprised. I mean, I didn't know what, obviously, the northwest of England looked like railway-wise from 1958, and I thought there'd be quite a bit more tunnels around the northwest of England. Obviously there wasn't, I think there's only just, what, one? Maybe two? Not a lot, really. Alright, let's take a look from the front perspective. I'd like to have a bit of a different variant livery of the Jubilee. Have one, you know, sparkling clean green rather than this kind of green with a bit of grime and dust on it. Don't really like that personally. But yeah, you could see the mechanicals at work. Really well produced visually. Working very, very well. We are struggling, aren't we? We are not going to make it. Why are we not going to make it? Because the vacuum brakes are doing its own thing, which I don't like. Right, let's bring this fella to a stop. Perfect. It's a little bit farther than I wanted to, but we did it. We're halfway. Let's open the cylinders. Dampers, no need to deal with them. I've had enough dealing with dampers today. Oh, there's another train. What is it? It's a freight, and my goodness, look at the speed of that. Blimey, it's pretty quick, isn't it? Whoa, that's a quick freight service. I didn't even catch it. Well, we at Farmer McCartland's farm, clearly. I know there's one station where it's probably got the largest and loudest concentration of cows I think I've ever seen in a video game. What a sight. Absolutely beautiful locomotive. British Railways. Of course, before British Railways existed, of course, and took over, the big four railway companies would have just originally had L, M, and an S there. These are the coaches. Gorgeous first class. You can't open the windows, which I find is a bit irritating, but yeah, it's not a game breaker for me. Yeah, just the craftsmanship and the detail. I mean, I think we have had carriages obviously very similar, West Somerset, but I think these are a different type of coach, you know, well, first class, and the livery as well. I think we got a blood and custard livery as well for the coach, so yeah, pretty cool. Once again, the safety systems have not gone off, which is nice, so at least I've mastered that technique. I may be driving it wrong, but at least I'm not having that horrendous safety noise thing going off, the safety valve going off, so I'm not complaining. Right, doors are locked. Release the brakes. I need to release the injectors. Need to get back to my camera position because I like that position where I was earlier, just now. Let's say there. Perfect. Now the safety valve was going off. I pressed the wrong button. But trying to be too clever, and I failed miserably. Liam, hey Spurs, sorry I'm late, but I've got a new weekday job, so I'll be later on Mondays. That's fine. This is a stream I'm only doing on a Friday because obviously it's the Jubilee celebrations. I've got 4 days of work, thank God, for the Jubilee bank holiday, which is nice. So I thought I'd squeeze in a stream tonight. There won't be a stream on Sunday. I originally was going to do a stream on East Coast Way on Sunday. That will not happen because, yeah, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be out with my friends. So, yeah, there won't be a stream on Sunday. Probably there will be a stream on Monday, most likely on East Coast Way, which I originally planned to cover East Coast Way and 313, but obviously it's not going to happen now, since yeah, I'm going to be going out and having a good time with my friends. Right, I'm too busy babbling along. Let's close the injectors. Get out the free camera again. And now we can see her finally depart. Tom Hardy is away. Let's go. Let me get back in the cab. Let's say that will do. Increase the part. Let's go full power. Said that with a lot of good expression there in my voice. Like Superman or the Avengers. Let's go, let's do this. Full power. Got a bit of wiggle room in the boiler so we can really get cracking. The next and final stop will be crew. We're not going to be doing at 8:21, that's for sure. way late. Over 20 odd minutes late. So yeah, as long as you make it. First full run complete on Spirit Steam for me, and yeah, a lot of learning to take from this. I do appreciate the tips and tricks you've given me as well, particularly I'll give a shout out to Mr. Foxy1525. Appreciate that from him. Right. And there was another person that told me to put the reversal as well. Yeah, 25%. Whoever that was. Mr. Quicker Gaming as well, so yeah, he'll get a good shout out. So I appreciate the tips. I think if you go onto the Dovetail forums, there's actually a little, almost like a little mini PDF style poster, which is a quick, tiny little like step guide of a diagram of the cab and the steps you should use when, you know, getting up to speed, stopping. So yeah, if you want to check that out, it's on the Dovetail forum. I think if it's no longer there, I actually saved it to my Apple files, so I might actually put it on a community post on my channel in case it's no longer there. Even if it isn't there, I think I'll do that anyway. Give people a little bit of an extra leg up. And also, if you check out Dovetail's Twitter account, Train Sim World 2's Twitter account, there's actually a very nice recreation of the map. Very 1950s old school-esque. I mean, of course, 1950s, late 1950s was the time when colour television wasn't invented. Obviously, mobile phones weren't invented. I think they already did a trip to space, didn't they? Was it America or Russia in the 50s? I'm not sure. Oh, we're slowing down, if anything. Why is that? It's the regulator again, isn't it? Yes, it is. I always knew the regulator. The ejector, sorry, not the regulator. It's always the ejector. That's doing my nuts. Alright, let's open the dampers. I don't trust that ejector. It's staying open whether it likes it or not. Whether it's real or not, I don't like it. It's staying open. It's ruined my progress to a degree. That stays open. Well, at least we're building up pressure in the boiler, so that's fine. Liam, the Seven Valleys steam train renamed Queen's Jubilee for Seven Valley Railways. SVR 34027. Tor Valley engineers temporarily to be known as Elizabeth II. That's cool. I think London Paddington Station also has been renamed for the Jubilee celebrations. Was it the Elizabeth Station or Elizabeth II Station or something? Obviously the Elizabeth line has been opened. It's part of the Crossrail. Opened just in time, isn't it? A bit late, but oh well. Just in time for the Jubilee celebrations, I suppose that's a good thing. Right, I'm going to open the small ejector and close the big one. I think that's how you should properly do it. It wasn't displayed in the tutorial. That I didn't even know was a thing you could move during the tutorial of the Jubilee until I found out on the 8F. But I reckon you should just always keep a small ejector fully open. And obviously leave the large one closed when you're moving. Obviously open the large ejector when you are about to move from a station or a yard, etc. I must say, doing some getting the locomotive into Liverpool Lime Street Station from the shed is really quite good fun. You know, you can have a bit of fun on the turntable. I suppose you can pretend to fill up with coal and water, which is an awful shame they don't have services focusing on that. I mean, the tutorial of it was really, really cool and interesting, and you're never going to be doing that thing in the services, which I found bizarre. You know, it's a key aspect of the steam locomotive, you know, which is also a surprising thing as well. Like, there's no gauge, like, on the HUD, like the game hub, I should say, of like the water levels or the amount of coal you have in the tender. Very surprised they didn't focus a bit more on that. I think the coal is understandable because of the fireman is not a manual fire option yet. But for the water, I think that would have been quite interesting, you know, to play around with the water levels, monitor it to a degree. I mean, I think you can look at the water levels even in one of those glass compartments or one of those dials. Obviously I can't see that one there because yeah, it's pretty much completely invisible to me, all blocked by that valve there. But yeah, having that kind of aspect, that water and coal management aspect to it to a degree, that is if you're advanced enough to do it. I'm certainly not, so I'll be struggling all over the place, and the train will probably blown up in a field nearby, knowing me. Yeah, I think just having that option for people that really want to take it to the next level of, you know, realism and challenge, I think that should be there. Of course, you can, like I said, the option is there to, you know, fill the tender up with coal and water, but you can't do it in service mode. You probably can in the scenario and of course the tutorial, but you don't have that in service mode, which is very irritating to me. So it would have been nice, like, you know, say if I do an express from, I don't know, Crewe to Liverpool or vice versa, it'd be nice at the end of a long journey, you know, take it out of service, back to the sheds or siding or whatever, give it a good long drink of water and a refill of coal. But you don't do that. You just take it in the shed and leave it to his own devices, where it just sits there and does nothing until it's next used. And even then, when it is next used, said maybe for Jubilee or the 8F, yeah, you still don't get the option of refilling the tender with coal or water. Yeah, it'd be irritating, but there we are. Right, I better close the dampers. If Liam's there, he's usually the fact expert. Could you look up what is the purpose of the dampers and when should I use them? When should they be deployed in a steam locomotive? That's probably Liam's most toughest task yet, as being the fact master on my streams. But there we go, that's a challenge for him. He's got the World Wide Web in his hands, I'm sure he can do it. Under 8 miles to go until Crewe. Nearly a whopping 28 minutes late. Now that's typical British, that, isn't it? You know, these trains never run on time; they run super late. Mr. Quicker Gaming, can you open the sunroof on the roof? Yes, you can, I believe. It's a roof. Ta-da, there you go. Collecting some, well, tiny little plumes of steam coming in. I don't know why you'd need it. I mean, you've got all this big gap here of just air. So, and plus my window's open, so I don't know why you'd want it open, to be honest, but there's another little thing to play around with, I suppose. I've just noticed that the boiler pressure is going down again, which is a bit surprising to me. Maybe I should open the dampers. Fireman Sam has been quiet. He's been looking outside, checking if there's any cows or sheep on the line. And if so, then yeah, I feel sorry for them. There's an interesting fact about the cows in one of the scenarios in on Spirit Steam, which is most bizarre. Well, I mentioned the building process of the cows, but apparently they're the most detailed and fully animated cows that Dovetail has ever released in this game, or Train Simulator, which I found yeah, an interesting detail, I suppose. I don't think anyone would care about the cows if they're pixelated or move very robotically, but there we are. I suppose it goes to show how good they are with their character modelling. Or animal modelling, I should say. Right. Liam, Motorola launched the Dyna TAC in 1984. I don't know what that is. Was it Motorola? I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. Definitely look that up. That doesn't sound like a steam train or train thing to me. It sounds more like something like a motorbike or something. For those of you that know, you're probably laughing now. So there you are. Oh yeah, the vacuum pressure in the boiler, or the pressure in the boiler, is having a little bit of a wobble. 1 minute it wants to go up, next minute it wants to go down. Well, we're doing 38-40 miles an hour. I think that's not too bad. We're obviously nowhere near, like, 30 or something, so. I mean, the remarkable thing is that I have been nowhere near the speed limit. I think the speed limit is 90 miles per hour, and I have been nowhere near reaching that, which is extraordinary. And I want to reach that speed limit, but if I do, I'll sacrifice all of the pressure in the boiler, and then that will be curtains for me. So I think 40 miles an hour is quick enough. The Queen made a last-minute appearance at Paddington Station to formally open Crossrail. Yeah, I saw that on the news. Nice to see her open it. So yeah, but the Queen's been in good spirits. She missed, I think, the morning service due to some discomfort. Yeah, I can understand that. She's in her 90s and she's standing on, the Buckingham Palace balcony for a very long time, observing the fly past, which was absolutely wonderful. Seeing the Spitfires in action, Merlins, the Apache helicopters and the Typhoons. Yeah, quite a sight. And plus addressing the crowd, waving and cheering and trooping the colour and all this kind of stuff. I can understand Queen being worn out. I mean, there's a concert tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure she'll make just a 5-minute appearance, have a wave on the balcony, then doodle off inside and drink some tea and rest, I imagine. She probably couldn't give a damn about the concert, to be honest. That's her age. Liam Spurs, have you got any Jubilee decorations? I can guarantee you have less than my neighbour. Can't even see the house. Yeah, we got a few Jubilee decorations. Got some Jubilee bunting in the living room and at the front window. We've got some flags as well that we can wave around, which was particularly useful when watched the fly past yesterday. Let's leave the dampers open. Liam, dampers control airflow to the oil fire. Okay, opening them allows air to flow up from underneath the fire and through it, which is obviously a great benefit to feeding the fire. If the dampers are open, then you will get a steam generation boost. I see. Maybe it's best to just leave it open then. Pretty much all the time. I mean, if I have the reverser in the full forward position, 75%, then I'd reckon it'd be absolutely rocketing along. You know what? Why not try it, shall we? Let's come off the power. Reverser on full. Put the regulator on full as well, 100%. We should be pretty much gaining full speed. I mean, I think that one issue was cropped up, in particular Xbox. I'm not sure if it's apparent on here because I'm not sure. I don't know what to look out for, but was the blurring issue. Apparently there was a bit of an issue with Dovetail. What was it like? They found a solution to kind of fixing or dumbing down the motion blur problems of the wheels. Then apparently when I think Dovetail showed off Spirit of Steam for the first time, that fix was not in that preview build on the Xbox One X. Whether that's the same now as it's of course released, I'm not sure, and I don't even know if it's even a thing on PlayStation. I don't know if what I'm looking at is fixed or not, because I don't use motion blur. This is the problem. So no, I'm not sure, but yeah, but I have motion blur turned off anyway, so it's not a problem for me. Right, we are we're picking up a bit of speed, not much, are we? 53 miles per hour. What we do need to consider is slowing down soon. Close the dampers. Yeah, immediately the moment I closed the dampers, the speed started being reduced. But I think we can actually allow that because we've got to decrease speed pretty soon. So the reverser, 25%. I mean, this part of the route isn't too bad because it's predominantly flat. It's mainly around the Liverpool area where it's ridiculously steep. It's a tiny bit steep at Runcorn, but not too bad. But yeah, I need an awful lot of practice when it comes to getting the locomotive near the top speed of the route for starters. I am miles away from it, literally many miles per hour away from 90 miles per hour. But the next challenge is now trying to slow down this living beast that is the London Midland and Scottish Railways Jubilee. start decreasing speed. I have never ever done an approach to Crewe, so this will be a new experience for me. Liam, dude, this company is going to get some telling off for the passengers making them late. Yeah, that's true. I know it's a royal train as well, so the Queen won't be happy. At least you can enjoy the sight at a more leisurely speed than 80 or 90 miles per hour, I suppose. Right. Oh, we're going a bit too fast. Slow. Open the large ejector. Whoop, we're going a bit too slow now. You can't win, can you? Oh, don't slow. Oh, we finally came to a halt on the main line. That's such a shame. Oh well. I'm a rookie. I need to learn from mistakes. I just need to open the cylinders again then. They're closed, that's fine. Thankfully it's pretty much flat for me, so it's fine. Vacuum brakes, pretty much done and dusted. We'll get moving again. Albeit we're very, very slow. Because we haven't got enough pressure in the boiler, that's probably why. Oh, well, at least we're moving. We're so close to Crewe. Come on, let's make it, please. And this was so low on the vacuum. I'm very conscious of it. Time to get feeding the fire quickly, fireman. Need to get to the station. I mean, we're nearly an hour late, but I don't think it matters. For once, it doesn't matter. I mean, what are we, an hour and 34, nearly 2 hours into it. It's been a long journey, but at least we're making it. Close the dampers, and at last we're nearly there. So close. Oh, it's right there, the station's right there. Crewe North Junction. Good blimey, I'm going to be so happy that I've managed to do a full run of the Jubilee with little to no preparation at all. Come on, Jubilee, let's make it. It's literally like winning an Olympic medal, winning the marathon. It was meant to be a sprint, but I made a bit of a marathon, unfortunately, because of my inexperience, but at least we got one to the finish line. Right, let's oh, it's nice architecture here. Yeah, look at these, like the clean white vest. Presume that's washing powder, presumably. Fruity flavours, chewy fruit gums. Very nice. I thought it'd be advertising jelly babies. More of the same advertisement. We've got strong tea. That will definitely be what I'll be having after this. Maybe, oh, what's the time? 10:10, roughly. There's some coaches there, look. They just sit there. Nothing much happens, really. Ooh, we're going a bit slow, if anything. Bit conscious of the signal. I think that'll do. Oh, at last, we've actually done it. I am absolutely delighted with that. That's fine. What's that clickety-clack going along behind me? Or to the left of me? Is there a train? Is there something moving around? Going clickety-clack? Or is it just the ambience of crew? Imagine the ambience. But again, look, you've got coaches here that just sit here. Why? Why not take them out, put them into the designated siding, or take them apart, put them in different sidings, and then when they're required again, get the shunting locomotive out, put them together, and stick them in, I don't know, one of these main platforms. There's even a piece of rolling stock there. What's good of it being there? I don't know. Anyway, it's nice that they've added it as scenery, but I want to use them as movable objects, really. But yeah, the Royal Train is pretty much done and dusted. So let's take the lamps off. Jubilee can have a good old rest. And a good drink of water. And I'll have definitely a strong, maybe a slight little Jack Daniels, I think, after this. So yeah, let's look for doors. And breathe. Hey, we did it. Fantastic. First time. Oh, a gold as well. Would you believe it? I wouldn't think I'd get a gold, but being hideously late. I mean, look, we were due in at Edge Hill at 7:37. We made it at 7:42. Then we were, due to Cube. We were due into crew at 8:21, and we're nearly an hour late. 9:04. We got a gold. Well, I'm very surprised with that. Maybe because we were just mostly under the speed limit all of the way. But yeah, that's a cracker. I love that. Really pleased. I was very much worried like this stream could be a shambles because I wouldn't be able to complete a service of a full length passenger run. But yeah, managed to do it. Nearly mucked it up at the end, but got to the finishing line. So yeah, there you go. That concludes my first ever stream on Spirit of Steam. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I certainly did. Very much a learning curve for me, that's for sure. A lot of learning to be done, a lot of tips and tricks to take from you, ladies and gentlemen, so I really do appreciate the feedback. Hope you'd enjoyed it. Of course, as always, if you liked or enjoyed the stream, you know what to do, hit the like button. And if you are watching for the first time, be it live or on playback, then please do consider subscribing to the channel for more Train Sim World streams. The next stream will be not Sunday, but now it will be on Monday, the 6th of June 2022, usual time, 8:30 p.m.-ish UK time, where I will be returning to normal, more duties, so to speak, or back to reality, as I'll be taking a look at the recently spring cleaned East Coastway. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. Hope you are too. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.